Watch. It's
Ayo. Everybody, hey, I'm Gravity. This is gonna be a pretty scuffed pre-debut, but I believe we're here, so cheers. Stop the BGM. Watch some video. Poor kitty. Oh, look at that poor kitty.
Literally 3M. Why does he need to lick so aggressively?
My dog's getting all excited.
Ice cream? 早上好，中国！现在我要冰淇淋，我喜欢冰淇淋。
Think they're best friends.
I'm gonna tell.
He wants the Taco Bell so bad. Please, 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 please.
My cat does that. He likes to chew on cardboard.
normalize you not touching my charger.
Stop!
I hear him. Hello. Hello. No! No!
Get out of here, dude. He bit me.
Hello, yes. I'm here to squeegee your windscreen.
Lily, you always
Oh, he's gonna cry. Oh, he's spicy. It's so spicy.
Again.
Get the bubble.
Look,
Santa's little helper? Are you Santa's little helper? Hey, no, bite!
Our first interview.
Show me someone that lives in your house rent-free.
Yep. That's Adventure Kitty. Adventure Kitty.
Just unscrew the little... Oh my god. A cat, please, just stop, please, please. Unscrew.
There's a cat.
Oh, my goodness. Here.
Stop eating my animal crackers! Get out! Look at all this. Look what you're doing, dudes. Get out. Out. That's it. Out. Come on. Come on. Get out.
Sure, it's not that.
Oh, that. I didn't realize. I didn't realize it was on the piano like that. That's so cute. That's so cute. It's a heckin' chunker right there.
What is that? A ring pop? Why?
Aw. I can't say I've ever seen a cat sticking its head out the window like that. My cat's done it once, but that's it. I know it.
Leave the tree alone. Just stop.
Bruno is here to give you a hug.
Thank you, Boo Boo.
Is that a banana on its head? That's so cute. Oh yeah. The cat likes to sit there because it's nice and warm and cozy, you know? Oi.
No, perdón.
Oh, it looks like my cat, kind of. Oh,
KFC chicken tender?
stinky feet.
He's inspecting.
3D.
He's inspecting.
Oh.
I just want to get on here and say Merry Christmas from my family.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So me and Billy were having a heart-to-heart about our weekend. He was telling me about his, I was telling him about mine, but Timmy felt a little left out. You know, it wasn't my intention, but, you know, he's got an attitude. So he put himself in timeout, and he's not coming out. He's been there for 10 minutes. Timmy!
Pressure's picked up. Lawrence gets it out. Touchdown, Colton. There's a flag down.
Gary, since it's your birthday, you get the birthday hat. It's the birthday.
Oh no!
Hey. Oh my god.
Run.
Go!
He fucking that shit up.
Oh, now he does. Oh! Oh!
Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh my goodness.
Come here.
Oh, the air is so spicy.
Oh, Gouda.
Pam and I feed off of each other's energy. I tease her, she teases me. We have so much fun.
She said that? Yeah, we have a lot of fun.
I love how angry. Yeah, it's always.
I'm just in the bathroom chilling and I look over and there's a cat in my wall. And I'm really confused on how that happened. But I'm just gonna ignore the fact.
Free cat.
Good boy.
What you do? What you do? Dumbass thought you could get out of this big ass tub. Come on. Come on.
It's an angry chonker. Is that a cross-eyed cat? Yeah. Oh, oh, oh.
What are you doing? What are you doing? That's my hot dog. Give me
Thief.
that back.
Thief.
You.
Thief.
You thief. You stole.
Back. She's gonna buy them back.
Where's Walter? Where could he be? I can't seem to find him anywhere. Silly boy.
Will my cat know which hand the treats are in?
Yeah. Cats have this amazing thing called a nose.
Go play with your own. No. Stop. Or deal. Stop. Stop. No.
It's gonna
You
learn.
need to watch your mouth, young lady. Okay. No. You want to be this girl here? You can be this.
That's kind of cool.
What are you doing? What's the matter? Are you mad at me? No? Okay, good.
He's all in.
Do you ever look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head?
So dramatic. Uy. What is that cat doing? Oh, oh.
Кому сказала нельзя? Морти! Морти!
That was okay. Let's watch this one instead. You laugh, you lose. You can watch the whole thing now.
Watch, it's gonna come soon because I feel it. It's like it gives me a rush and shit.
Whoa, what was that?
Yo, look at this sign. What the heck? Like this isn't fake. I didn't find this online. It's a sign. I'm taking a nap.
You want to take a nap?
What did it say?
I'm taking a nap here.
Okay, take a nap right there then.
So, you have a new action movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. Fantastic. Well, I'm good to go with that. Say, $200 million budget? Oh my, don't you want to hear what it's about? Well, with $200 million, we could get some really big names in this thing. So if you've got a script, you know, I'm in. Do you want to hear about... Oh man, we could probably get like Chris Evans, Ryan Gosling, Anna de Armas. She's really hot right now. I mean, great, but maybe I
mean, that's your whole budget right there. The stars, right?
Maybe I tell you about the plot a little bit? I mean, I feel like that doesn't really matter. We're gonna have Evans and Gosling. That's a fantastic Netflix thumbnail. Just maybe you should know. All right, okay, yeah, no, you're probably right. I should know. So what happens in this thing? Well, it's called The Gray Man, and it's based on this book series. Oh, Gray
Oh,
Men are
God.
tight. Sometimes they bring me up into their spaceship and do things to me. Oh my God. Okay, well no, this gray man is a human and he's this guy named Sierra 6. Oh, that's a pretty cool code name. What's his deal? Well, he was in prison because he killed his abusive dad when he was a kid, and then he got recruited into the super secret assassin CIA program. Oh, the CIA. Yeah, you know that place that's completely run by young hot models? What? So this high-ranking CIA official Carmichael is working for this mysterious guy called the Old Man, right? Okay. And Carmichael sent 6 to kill his target, but it turns out this guy was another Sierra codename assassin. Oh, very sketchy. Super sketchy. And before he dies, this guy gives 6 an encrypted drive that details how sketchy this young hot CIA model Carmichael is. So this CIA asset is gonna have his own agency turn against him? What movie did I see that in? Oh yeah, what was that? Which one was that? That was all of them. Oh yeah, that's right. It was every single one of them. So now 6 has all these people hunting him, and he's gonna have to jump out of an exploding plane. Oh no, how does he survive that? By transforming into a CGI blob and doing something, I guess. I think he gets a parachute. I'm not quite sure. We're gonna cut back later and he's gonna be fine. Well, fantastic. So then Carmichael's gonna hire this other model, Lloyd Hansen, to kill him, who I guess Chris Evans could play. And what's his deal? Well, remember that thing in the Avengers about America's ass? Yeah. Well, this character's just, you add a hole to that. Oh, adding holes to things is tight. All right. And so what does this guy do? Well, he's basically a psychopath, and he went to Harvard with Carmichael and this other CIA model, Suzanne. That's the smart person school. It sure is, sir. And so Lloyd kidnaps this girl, Claire, who's the niece of 6's mentor, and they have a special connection. If they have a connection, then 6 is gonna want to save her, huh? He sure is, sir. So what else happens? Drone shots. Whoa, what? Drone shots. Drone shots. Drone shots. Drone shots. Shots with a drone. Drone shots. Okay, drone shots. Yeah, okay, I get it. We'll have a lot of drone shots, but what happens story-wise? Right, okay, so at a certain point, Lloyd is gonna have a gun pulled on 6. Does he pull the trigger? No, because the movie's not done yet, so he's gonna be a little snarky about it. Oh, okay. And then this other CIA model, Danny Miranda, shoots Lloyd with a tranquilizer dart. She doesn't kill him? No, she doesn't know who he is, so she takes 6 and they leave. And they bring the unconscious Lloyd with them so they could get some answers. No, they just leave him there. Why? Because the movie's not done yet. Oh, okay, gotcha. And so later, 6 and Danny go see another one of 6's mentors who he had sent that encrypted drive to. Okay. And she's gonna sacrifice herself to buy them some time by blowing herself up. Well, that's a pretty noble sacrifice. And then later in the movie, one of 6's mentors is gonna buy them some time by blowing himself up. Well, that's a pretty noble sacrifice that I guess we can do a second time. We're gonna. And so what other cool action scenes do we got? Oh, well, at a certain point, 6 is gonna be handcuffed to a bench in Prague, and a bunch of mercenaries with rocket launchers and heavy machine guns try to kill him. Oh man, well, it's gonna be impossible for him to survive that. Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, you can see the cops show up, so the mercenaries start fighting them and basically blow up the whole city block, and bullets are flying everywhere. And not a single one of them fires bullets or rockets at the bench he's handcuffed to. They don't, no, so he slips away. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. And there's this one mercenary that survives, and this guy's hardcore, so they're gonna have a big fight with him, and he's gonna get the drive. Oh, no. Yeah, but 6 is gonna manage to figure out where this guy's heading, because turns out Claire has a traceable pacemaker. Oh. So they head over there, and Miranda's gonna fight that crazy mercenary guy again, but then he just gives her the drive when they're done fighting. What, why? Well, he's like, yeah, these people that hired me don't have any honor, because they were gonna kill a little girl, so I'm out. Why did he go through with the fight if he had already decided that? Unclear. So then Miranda gets a line of sight to shoot Lloyd if 6 can get him to take a little step sideways. Oh, fantastic. But then 6 is like, forget the shot, because he wants to fight this guy hand to hand. What, why? Because the movie's almost over, so there's gotta be a little showdown. Oh, okay. So then they fight for a little bit, and Suzanne shows up and kills Lloyd and arrests 6. How come? Well, she says they're gonna blame everything on Lloyd and then keep 6 in custody in case they need him as an asset. I mean, even if they pin it all on him, that's still an American with ties to the CIA who killed a bunch of police officers in Prague. Yeah, so that's fine. Okay. But then 6 manages to escape from custody and runs away. How does he manage that? By being talented at what he does and also doing it off screen. Very cool, I imagine. So then he goes and frees Claire from where she's being kept, and they take off together, so that's nice. I mean, that's cool. You said she has a traceable pacemaker, though. Hey, shut up. And so that's about it. What do you think? Well, wait, so the bad guys just get away with it with no consequences, and we don't find out who the old man is? Correct. Why would we end it like that? I mean, you know why. Oh, yeah, okay, I know why.
Yep.
Hi, everybody. Ryan here. Thanks for So, you have a new Thor movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. And let me tell you, he's dumber than ever. Oh, okay. Yeah, just real. He's not smart at all, this guy. All right, well, I can't wait to see him team up with the Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, we kind of ended Endgame with them taking off onto adventure together. Oh, yeah, and let me tell you, sir, the Guardians of the Galaxy are gonna be in this. Oh, boy. Just ever so briefly. What? So we're gonna meet this guy, Gore, right? And all his people have died, and his daughter, too, even though he's been praying to their god. Okay. And then he meets his god, who it turns out is a big old jerk, and then he gets chosen by the Necro Sword and kills the god. Oh, wow, 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 wow. Yeah, so now Gore has become the God Butcher, and he's just gonna go on a rampage. He wants all gods to die. Why?
Thor was the best part of that movie.
He thinks they're all selfish and they only care about themselves. Dang, well, it's gonna be crazy to see him going around butchering gods. Oh yeah, except no, that is gonna be happening off screen. But he's the God Butcher. Yeah, so he's off doing that. We're not gonna see that. I would like to see it. No. Ah, dang it. Anyway, so then we're gonna meet up with Jane Foster. And what's going on with her? Well, she has stage 4 terminal cancer. Oh my God, that's terrible. Yeah, but don't worry, sir. Everything's still gonna be hilarious all the time. That wasn't my concern. Still plenty of jokes per minute, sir. Don't even worry about it. Right, okay, maybe there shouldn't be in some parts. We're gonna be cruising at a furious JPM. All right. You know those screaming goat videos from the internet from like 10 years ago? Yeah. Yeah, we're bringing that in. A bunch of screaming goats the whole time.
Man.
All right. I mean,
those goats are so fucking annoying. I hate that.
It was really funny 10 years ago. I guess it might still be funny now. Well, I hope you do like it, sir, because if it doesn't land the first time, it's certainly not going to land the next 7. Wow, well, geez. So anyway, Thor finds out from Sif that Gore is butchering all these gods in amazing ways that I'm never going to show you, and he's on his way to New Asgard next. Oh, no. Yeah, New Asgard has become, like, super touristy. Like, they have an ice cream shop called the Infinity Cones. It has, like, an Infinity Gauntlet theme. That kind of seems like it's in poor taste. No, it tastes fantastic. I mean, it's ice cream. No, I mean, the Infinity Gauntlet was used in like a worldwide tragedy that's kind of messed up for a theme. Yeah, nothing a little ice cream can't solve. That's a good point. Yeah, okay. So Thor shows up to New Asgard and he sees that Jane is now also a Thor. What do you mean? Well, turns out back when they were dating, Thor had asked Mjolnir to protect Jane, so that's what he's doing here. Wow, well, it's gonna be cool to see her transform for the first time. Yeah, except no, that's
they got away from that too.
Off screen. That's off screen too. Okay, all right, dang it. So anyway, now she has this super cool Thor outfit because that's what happens to you when you wield Mjolnir. That didn't happen to Captain America when he had it. Hey, shut up. And so then Gore steals all these children and runs away. Oh, super rude. And so his plan is to lure Thor because he just knows he's gonna come to the rescue of these kids. He believes that all gods are selfish and only care about themselves, so his plan is to capture people that they care about because they would definitely come help them. Yes. Well, okay then. So Thor goes to the city where a bunch of gods live, including Zeus, and he tries to get them to help, but they're all scared of Gore. Oh man, all these gods in one place? That's the perfect setup for a Gore the Butcher attack scene. Oh, you know it, sir. Anyway, so then they impale Zeus with his own thunderbolt and steal it and run away. Oh, impaling people and stealing their belongings is tight. Oh my God. That won't hold up in court, by the way. That wasn't an official admission of guilt or confession. All right, so then they go fight Gore and he steals Stormbreaker. Why? Well, it turns out that Stormbreaker is the key to the realm of eternity, where eternity will grant one person one wish. Oh, what's up? It just seems like maybe it would have been easier for Thanos to just go there instead of trying to gather all the Infinity Stones. Yeah. Or for the Avengers to go there for that matter instead of inventing time travel. Yeah, well, see, the thing is, I'm gonna need you to get all the way off my back about previous Marvel movies. Oh, okay, let me get off of that thing. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you very much. So does Thor just summon Stormbreaker back? That's a thing he can do, right? Yeah, no, I guess it's not within his summoning range. He needs to change service provider. And then they find out that Mjolnir is actually drained.
I didn't even notice that. He could have just... You could have just summoned... Oh my...
Jane's life force, so if she uses it again, she'll die. I thought Mjolnir was protecting her, now it's killing her? Yes. Dang it, Mjolnir, what the heck? So Thor is like, all right, well, Jane, you can't come fight with me. And also Valkyrie got stabbed, and Korg is just a face. He lost his body. Man, well, it's gonna be hard for Thor to fight Gore on his own. Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, because see, he's not gonna be alone, actually. What do you mean? Well, he lends his Thor powers to all the kids, which is a thing he can do now. So they all fight Gore and his monsters. Oh, wow, 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 wow. Yeah, so then our hero, you know, the guy with the army of child soldiers, attacks the bad guy who's, you know, the guy who thinks gods should be nicer to people. I don't, maybe don't phrase it that way. Right, okay, the good guy fights the bad guy. Yeah, definitely keep it vague, that sounds better. Anyway, then Jane shows up to help too. But she'll die. She does, yeah, but then Gore is so moved by their love, when he makes his wish, he doesn't wish for all gods to die. What does he wish for? He wishes for his daughter to come back to life, but then he dies, so Thor kinda has a daughter now. Very cute. And Korg has his body back and he falls in love. How did he get his body back? I don't know, and so that's about it. What do you think? Well, it sounds like a lot of fun, but do you think maybe we're going a little too hard on the Marvel humor? Sir, it's impossible to lean too hard on the Marvel humor. Trust me. Hi everybody, it's Ryan here. Thanks for watching that video. Hope you liked it. Don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button. So, you have a new season of Stranger Things for me? Yes, sir, I do. And guess
Yes,
what?
sir, I
No,
do.
frickin' Hopper is alive. Oh man, it must have been tough for him to survive that big machine explosion that vaporized everyone in the room last season. Actually, it was super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yes, see, check this out. He got out of the way. What? Yeah, it turns out that was an option that was on the table, just jumping out of the way. So he's alive, he didn't die. Wow, well, okay, that was easy. Yeah, but see, then it turns out he was picked up by some Russians who somehow got there before the Americans arrived, and they put him in this crazy Russian prison. Oh, those are in Russia. And so Joyce and Murray are gonna have to head over there and help him escape. Very exciting. But then he gets caught and goes back to jail, and they're gonna have to help him escape. Oh, but then later they're gonna escape, and they realize they gotta go back. So they're just kind of going in and out of prison this season. In and out for hours, sir. Plus Hopper has like a broken ankle and probably frostbitten feet. Man, that's probably gonna complicate things. Nope. Oh, okay. And we're gonna have this nice reunion with him and Joyce, and they're actually gonna kiss. Aw. Yeah, it's really nice. And he lets her know that he's been eating maggot-filled bread for months. Oh my god. Yeah, so you can imagine how that kiss tasted. Okay, enough about the Russia stuff. What's going on with the Upside Down? What's the big threat this season? Oh, we got this new bad guy this season. Oh boy, so what's his deal? He's this super scary guy. He's bald and slimy looking. He's got like dark magical powers. Right. And many years ago when the hero was young, they somehow defeated this powerful villain, and he's been plotting his return ever since. Uh-huh. And so beyond all odds, it's gonna be a group of high school students that have to take on this bald, super powerful magic guy. Yeah, I mean, I'm familiar, wants to take over the world with his dark powers, thinks non-magical people are beneath him, name starts with the V. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, everybody's familiar with Voldemort. What? No, it's not Voldemort. I'm not talking about Voldemort. What do you mean it's not Voldemort? You just described Voldemort. What? No, he's not like Voldemort at all. Does he have a nose? So what's Voldemort up to? What does he want? He's not, okay, so Voldemort is terrorizing Hawkins, and he's doing this thing where he's snapping kids' legs and blowing their eyes up. Oh my god. Yeah, and this cool new character, Eddie's gonna get blamed for these murders, so the team's gonna try to help him not get killed by the townspeople. Very nice of them. And so Voldemort needs to open up these 4 gates from the Upside Down, and one of the people he's targeting is Max. Oh no. But right before he kills her, they figure out that if she's listening to her favorite song, he can't kill her, and also they find out the house that he's living in. How do they figure that out? Well, after he attacks Max, she's like doodling these little pieces of what she saw, and then Nancy assembles them all together and is like, whoa, this is a house. She was just doodling disconnected pieces of a house that then intricately assembled to form said house. That's what we're going with. Well, okay then, and what else is going on? Well, Jonathan has a new friend named Argyle, and what's he bringing to the table? Awesome. A van and salt access. Oh, sick, and what's going on with Eleven? Well, she's been living in California with Will and Jonathan, and her powers are gone. Oh yeah, that's right. So she's gonna reluctantly work with Dr. Brenner to get her powers back and go save her friends. Didn't he die in the first season? Wasn't he killed by a Demogorgon? It sure seemed that way because of what happened, but no, he survived. How? By not explicitly dying on screen. Oh yeah, that does tend to be a great survival tactic. It does. So he's using this machine to bring Eleven back into her forgotten memories of that whole experiment thing when she was a kiddo. Okay. And so she's remembering all these conversations she had with this Henry guy that worked there. Conversations? Couldn't she not talk back then? Hey, shut up. And so eventually she accidentally sets this guy loose, not realizing that he was actually number 1 and he hates Dr. Brenner and he's evil. Uh-oh. Yeah, so he goes nuts and kills all the other kids and injures Dr. Brenner. Why doesn't he kill Brenner too if he hates him so much? Unclear, but so then Eleven goes super intense and sends him into the Upside Down where he turns into Vecna. Who? Voldemort. He's from Harry Potter. Right, and so eventually we're gonna get to the finale and all the good guys have to do this crazy stuff simultaneously to defeat the bad guy. What do they they have to do? Well, a bunch of them head into the Upside Down. Oh, wow, wow, wow.
Oh, wow, wow, wow.
And so Dustin and Eddie need to lure a bunch of these bat things away from the Voldemort house so Steve and Nancy and Robin could go kill him while they're
And you gotta
using
play
Max as
Metallica.
bait. And how do they distract the bats? Oh, well, Eddie does this crazy Metallica performance on top of a trailer, and then when the bats come flying in, he has to rush down and get inside the trailer, and let me tell you, he cuts it pretty close. Why didn't he do that performance right in front of the door? Because being on the roof looks a lot cooler. That's a good point. And
That's a
later,
good
Eddie's
point.
gonna die. That makes sense. Oh, you're not surprised? I mean, he's a seemingly lovable character introduced in a new season of Stranger Things. That's pretty much a death sentence. That's a good point, but he does die like a hero by distracting some bats that didn't really need to be distracted anymore. Well, great. And meanwhile, in Voldemort's house, the other characters are gonna get choked out by some vines. Oh no. For 45 minutes. That's how do they not die? Unclear. And so then at the same time, Eleven is using her powers to go inside Max's mind to try to defeat Voldemort. Oh, how does that go? Well, they show their hands to each other for quite some time. Amazing. And at a certain point, it seems like Eleven's gonna lose, but then Mike tells her that he loves her and she needs to fight, so that gives her an extra boost. She just spent the whole season trying to get her powers back so she could fight. Did she really need a reminder? I just needed something for Mike to do. Oh, okay, gotcha. And at the same time in Russia, Hopper and Joyce and Murray realize they need to join the fight as well. What? How? Oh, well, they vaguely find out that the kids are fighting some kind of evil back home, so they're like, hey, there were some monsters at the prison, so maybe if we go fight them, that'll help in some way, because it's like a hive mind. Oh, a very big leap. A huge leap, sir, but not only does it turn out they're right, they do it at precisely the perfect moment. Wow, crazy how stuff like that works out sometimes, huh? I know, right? Especially when I've written it that way. Yeah. So they manage to defeat Voldemort, but then Max dies, which opens up this massive gate all around Hawkins. Oh no. But then Eleven brings Max back from the dead, which is a thing she can do now. Oh, great. Yeah, and so then 2 days later, wait, 2 days? What happened? How'd they get out of the Upside Down? Don't worry about it. So they're back and the gates are closed and Max is in a coma and the gates reopen and we're done. Wait, what? We're done. Check back in like 3 years, please. Oh, okay. So what do you think? Well, it sounds like a great season. Hey, what do you think we should use for Max's favorite song? Well, I was thinking we bring Kate Bush back into the mainstream with that song Running Up That Hill. Oh. We're gonna give that old song a huge boost. Oh, bringing back the Bush is tight. Don't phrase it like that. Sorry, yeah, no. But we totally will, though. Hi everybody, it's Ryan here. Thanks for watching that pitch meeting. Hope you liked it. If you haven't already, you can subscribe to this pitch meeting only channel. It's only got pitch
Alright, let's switch it up. Doing like a little bit of conspiracy stuff. I just found this channel recently. Black Knight. Wait. A time travel story feels pretty fitting since I am a time traveler.
In December 1984, Ken Webster, a high school teacher, was living with his friend Nick and girlfriend Debbie in the small village of Dodleston. One evening, the three were walking home from the local pub when they saw a pulsing green light emanating from their cottage windows. When they got inside, they saw something that terrified them. Though their computer wasn't connected to any network and everyone in the house was gone all night, a strange message was written on the screen, a message addressed to them by name. Over the next few months, more messages appeared, and eventually Ken and his friends began corresponding with the person on the other side. At first, Ken thinks this is a hoax or a prank, but over time, he comes to believe that not only are the messages real, they're being written by someone living in the very same house in the year 1541. Let's find out why.
Wait, what? 1541.
As written in Ken Webster's book, The Vertical Plane, strange things started happening as soon as they moved into Meadow Cottage at Dodleston near the border of England and Wales. One day, Ken noticed that small, six-toed footprints seemed to walk directly up the wall and through the ceiling. It's a very old house, so he thought they were just little stains, so he painted over them. But the next day, the footprints were back, on top of new paint. After that, Ken, Nick, and Debbie would routinely see bottles, cans, and boxes stacked in towers, sometimes over 4 feet tall. They assumed that friends in the village were playing pranks, but nobody came forward. 2 months after the
And it still doesn't mean it's a fucking time traveler or a ghost or anything paranormal.
first message appeared, Ken, Debbie, and Nick returned home from a day trip and found a new file had been saved on the BBC computer. The file name was REATE. They opened it.
What strange words thou speak, although I must confess that I hath also been ill-schooled. Thou art goodly man who hath fanciful woman who dwell in mine home. 'Tis a fitting place, with lights which devil maketh, and costly things, that only mine friend Edmund Gray can afford, or the king himself.
Okay, he just hacked this dude's computer. And it's just like really trolling him.
Now, this was not the way people spoke in the 80s, but there was more.
'Twas a great crime to hath bribed mine house. LW.
Ken printed the message and brought it to school, where most people thought it was entertaining and nonsense. But not Peter Trinder. Trinder was a literature teacher who was convinced it was written in Old English. They interpreted the phrase devil lights to mean the computer. And Peter Trinder asked Ken to let him know if any more messages.
Okay, so the hacker just happens to be passionate Old English and knows Old English.
Appeared so he can try and determine the location and the time period of the dialect. A few days went by, but nothing. But then Ken had an idea. He wondered if, since he was able to receive messages, could he also send them? So he sat down on the computer and began to type. Now, at this point in the story, Ken is still not convinced that this isn't a hoax, but he admits that he's intrigued, so he plays along. He sits at the computer and types question after question, trying to get information about who this is that could be sending messages from wherever they're coming from.
Dear LW, thank you for your message. We're sorry for disturbing you. What would you like us to do? Did you live on a house on this land about 1620? Do you want us to tell you more about our time? Who is Edmund Gray? Do you have a family? Is the king James or Charles? What is the charge house? Was this village called Doddleston in your life? Thank you very much for your messages. Thank you for not making us afraid. Ken, Debbie, and John.
They save the messages to disk, then leave the computer on and head out to the Red Lion pub. And the hope is that if they leave the computer alone for a while, that it would prompt a reply. And that's exactly what happened. When they returned home a few hours later, a new message was waiting for
I need to see the receipts and I need to see like data forensics
for them.
'Twas an honest farm of oak and stone. It is helpful that you should tell me about thy time. Dost thou have horse? Edmund Gray, brother of John Gray, lives at Kinnerton Hall. Thy king, of course, is Henry VIII, who is 46. I know what of King James. Mine charge house is a place of law, schooling. LW. The 28th of March, anno 1521.
This was a troubling reply in more ways than one. First, the facts about the history of this time were wrong. In 1521, Henry VIII was only 30 years old, not 46. But to be sure, Ken delivered the message to Peter Trinder for analysis, and Trinder confirmed that the historical facts were all.
Oh, wait. But maybe in that timeline, they did have computers and shit, you know, all the way back then.
Wrong. Kinnerton Hall wouldn't be built for another 200 years, and there's no mention of Edmund or John Gray in any record or document. And Ken was troubled by the use of modern grammar and punctuation like question marks, which wouldn't have been used in the 16th century. So that left the other possibility, that there was an intruder in the house, and this had Ken, Debbie, and Nick concerned. But that weekend, Ken borrowed the BBC computer once again to see if more messages would come.
Did they get more messages?
They did. They received a whole bunch of details about the house, the village, the time, and most importantly, instead of being signed by the mysterious LW, they were signed with the author's full name. In the next message, the author gave all kinds of details about his life. He talked about losing his wife and son to the plague. He talks about how he harvests barley for ale and makes his own cheese. He describes the house as humble, made of red stone, and sitting on a pretty parcel of land. Now, Meadow Cottage, where Ken, Nick, and Debbie were living, was not made of red stone, but they were doing renovations. When they dug up some of the land in the garden and looked under the kitchen, they discovered the foundation of another structure, much, much older than theirs.
Tell me they found red stone.
And the foundation was indeed made of red sandstone.
Okay. That's kind of
Now, these latest messages also had a different tone.
But still, I mean, hacker could have, like, known that, they could have looked up city records and blueprints and stuff.
The author seemed to think that Ken was intruding on his house and had his own concerns about this conversation. He finally signed the message Lucas, and eventually we learned that LW's full name is Lucas Wainman. Ken now had a lot of details that could be checked for accuracy, so he delivered them to Peter Trinder to see what he can find. And Trinder felt that the dialect, sentence structure, and intermittent use of Latin placed the messages in the middle of the 16th century, in the Cheshire area, which is exactly where Lucas Wainman said he was living. Also, as time went on, the historical facts became more consistent and accurate, and Lucas writes that King Henry VIII is married to Catherine Parr, so that put him in the 1540s, which is pretty consistent with a lot of the other details. But the names Lucas mentioned, like Richard Wishel and others, couldn't be found.
So this is a hoax?
Well, not necessarily. If it was a hoax, you'd think that the messages would be full of names and facts that could be easily checked. But Lucas was a simple rural farmer. He'd really only have knowledge of the king and people in his village. A tiny hamlet like Dodleston wouldn't keep detailed records of every individual living there. Now, Lucas doesn't know where Ken is, but eventually Ken reveals that he's actually writing from the year 1985, and that's where the story takes a turn.
You said your time be 1985. We thought you were also from 2109, like your friend.
What the? 2109? What friend?
It would appear that whatever phenomenon that Ken Webster encountered that allowed communication to the past was also a conduit for communication to the future. As more text came in and as more of the information was researched by Peter Trinder, Ken was believing less that this was a hoax. The responses were coming too fast for someone to be breaking in and leaving files on his computer. And Ken and Debbie was starting to believe that they were somehow communicating with a real man. A man who lived 400 years ago on the same piece of land where Ken was living now. But who were the people from 2109? Lucas didn't seem to know. Lucas thought they were friends of Ken's. So Ken did the obvious thing. He asked.
Calling 2109.
And then came a response.
Ken, Deb, Peter, we are sorry that we can give you only two choices. One, that you either have your predicament explained in such a way that you have instant understanding, but cause what should not happen. Or two, try to understand that you three have a purpose that shall, in your lifetime, changes the face of history. We, 2109, must not affect your thoughts directly, but give you some sort of guidance that will allow room for your own destiny. All we can say is that we are all part of the same God, whatever he or whatever it is.
Apparently, Ken's computer had opened two-way communication not only with the past, but with the future as well. And according to 2109, this communication had purpose, though we don't yet know what that purpose is. Meanwhile, Meadow Cottage was experiencing more and more events that seemed to be a poltergeist. Footsteps were heard at all hours of the night, but when they were investigated, nothing was there except footprints. Sections of the house would become so cold that breath was visible. More objects were found stacked in corners of rooms. Tapping was heard. Even words were found written in chalk around the house, including Lucas's name. The anxiety was becoming too much. Deb had rented another house nearby so they could occasionally get some sleep, and Nick, who'd been with them since the beginning, had moved out. Deb tried to find some explanation for what was happening and pulled some maps of the area. She learned that a ley line was running...
Wait. What's a ley line?
Well, a ley line is an alignment drawn between two structures that supposedly possess or can harness energy. Stonehenge, the Great Pyramids, Chichen Itza, and other significant structures are built on ley lines.
Was your cottage built on a ley line?
It was. And after discovering this, Deb started having visions and vivid dreams about Lucas, even interacting with him like he was trying to communicate further. It's at this point that Ken and Deb bring in help, the Society of Psychical Research.
They called in the heavies?
They did. and the SPR sent 2 researchers to Meadow Cottage, and the plan was either to debunk or prove the phenomenon once and for all. The Society for Psychical Research, or SPR, had been investigating the paranormal since 1882, and they're still around today.
OG ghost hunters.
They are. And 2 investigators, David Welch and John Bucknell from the SPR, arrived and proposed a test. They would send 10 questions to 2109 and then delete them. But Ken and Deb would have no idea what the questions were. Ken and Deb were then separated from the computer while they waited for a reply. And a few days later,
David, John. David, you interfere with communication. Next time you decide to perform your little experiment, you must be clear from here. We suggest you try someone else to sit with Debbie. Yes, we are what you would call a tachyon universe, but your understanding is incorrect. We ask nothing more of you than to carry on as you would prefer. We will have John present if given choice, or you may bring another as mentioned. No, it is no concern to us that this is not proved. We will give you a plotting of a star next time. We move at a speed so that we cover every point in your time and universe. We have no form. We feed of a heat energy that you will not have heard of. 2109.
David Welch said that 2109 didn't answer the question.
9. Feed of a heat every point of it is no present. Ask nothing. Call it. You decide to perform your little. You interfere with communication. Next time you decide to perform your little experiment, you must be clear from here. We suggest you try someone else to sit with Debbie. Yes, we are what you would call a tachyon universe, but your understanding is incorrect. We ask nothing more of you than to carry on as you would prefer. We will have John present if given choice, or you may bring another as mentioned. No, it is no concern to us that this is not proved. We will give you a plotting of a star next time. We move at a speed so that we cover every point in your time and universe. We have no form. We feed of a heat energy that you will not have heard of. 2109.
David Welch said that 2109 didn't answer the questions, but had picked up on all the questions in the right order. And Ken and Deb thought this would prove that they were not perpetrating a hoax. The SPR investigators weren't so sure. They speculated that maybe sensitive microphones could have been planted to let them know the questions in advance.
They spoke the questions out loud?
No, they didn't, but the investigators thought that maybe a microphone could pick up the sounds of the keys being pressed, and that Ken would be able to deduce what they were typing.
That sounds like a stretch to me.
It does, but for something like this, it's best to eliminate every possibility. The SPR investigators left, and Ken looked for more ways to convince them that what was happening was real. Frank Davis, another teacher at Ken's school, agreed to come over as a witness. When he arrived at the study where the computer was set up, he reported that the room became extremely cold for 2 or 3 minutes before returning to normal. They all went into the kitchen for a while to talk, and when they came back to check the computer, a new message had arrived. But this time, it was from someone else. When Ken, Debbie, and Frank Davis checked the computer that evening, a new message was shown on the screen. And it wasn't from Lucas. It was from someone who called himself John, who was a friend of Lucas's. John said that the local sheriff had Lucas imprisoned for witchcraft and communicating with spirits. So for days, no new messages arrived, and Ken and Debbie attributed this to Lucas rotting in a prison cell somewhere. Meanwhile, Peter Trinder was still feverishly trying to decipher the past messages, and Trinder enlisted the help of a librarian at Brasenose College at Oxford. Now, Lucas claimed to have attended Brasenose and gave Ken a list of books to check to prove he was telling the truth. Now, after some time, the librarian confirmed that not only did every single book exist at the college, but they were all contemporary to the 1520s, exactly as Lucas described. Finally, Ken and Deb decided to take...
Well, I thought he was from like a different dimension, and things were a little bit different. I guess the books were the same.
An aggressive approach. They demanded that word be taken to the sheriff that Lucas be freed, or they would use their power against him. That seemed to get the sheriff's attention, and Lucas was immediately freed. Now, sensing a new kinship, Ken asked Lucas if he was the one moving objects around the house. Lucas says it wasn't him, but the same thing was happening on his side. Both Ken and Lucas began to suspect that the poltergeist activity was being caused by the mysterious entity that they called 2109. So Lucas asked Ken to move the BBC computer to the kitchen, which on Lucas's side would let him communicate more privately. Now, 2109 had warned Ken and Lucas to not give each other details about their lives, but they were growing distrustful. Lucas then proposed an idea that sounded completely bizarre. He asked that a paper and pen be set next to the computer. Now, Ken didn't understand this, but he did as he was instructed. The next morning, next to the computer was a handwritten note. The writing was elegant and archaic, and the note was signed Thomas.
What language is that?
Early in their communications, Lucas, whose real name was Thomas, was reluctant to give his real name. He said that this was out of fear of being accused of witchcraft, which actually came to pass. But Thomas left clues about his full name in his letter. He said, "You have my name in your book. It is also the name of Peter's house." Peter lived close by in a town called Harweden, which was also the location of the school where Ken and Peter taught. Using this information, Ken and Peter were able to track down a man named Thomas Harweden, who was a fellow at Brasenose College at Oxford in the 1530s. This was their guy, and Ken, Debbie, and Peter were getting very close to the truth and learning everything they could about Thomas Harweden. But the entity known as 2109 seemed to be upset by this. A few days later, the computer was moved into the bathroom on its own, and then Ken found a message scribbled in chalk on the floor.
One more chance. Measure frequency by +2 energy. What else other than sound and light?
This 2109 is freaking me out.
I know.
Ken, Deb, Peter, we have reason to believe you have Lucas Wainman's true name. If this is correct, you must say so we can rectify the problem immediately before it is accepted.
She's
What?
touchy.
Yeah, and Ken wanted to minimize his contact with 2109. After more communication with Thomas Harweden in the 16th century, Ken learned that 2109 was tampering with many of the earlier messages that Thomas, aka Lucas, had sent. Apparently, 2109 was trying to obscure details to prevent Ken from discovering Thomas's true identity, which is why some facts were wrong. Meanwhile, the Society for Psychical Research had lost interest in the case. They told a local paper,
"Clearly, if this case is a hoax, then the two teachers are the prime suspects. I believe it is also possible that a third party was responsible. I would have loved to prove it was genuine. It would have been the most unique phenomenon ever recorded. Something or someone is doing it. It was not the job of the SPR to point the finger."
As Ken suspected, the SPR was extremely skeptical and wasn't taking the investigation seriously. So Ken contacted the SPR to obtain the records of the case. Strangely, the SPR said there is no record of such a case. Investigator John Bucknell had disappeared and nobody could reach him. And there was no record of anyone named David Welch affiliated with the SPR. As far as the SPR is concerned, none of this ever happened, and everyone connected to the case was gone. Apparently, 2109 was aware of Ken's frustration because a few days later, they contacted him. And this time, they gave him the name of someone to contact.
No.
And a phone number. When Ken sat down at the BBC computer, 2109 had left him a very specific message.
We ask you to do the following. There is a brilliant researcher, ufologist. We know you don't like the word. His name is Gary M. Rowe. His ideas differ somewhat to yours, but nevertheless, he can help you with a couple of your problems. You may phone him at the number below and invite him to talk with you. When he comes, show him this and ask him what he makes of it. Peter must do the telephoning. Tell him that you got his telephone number from a UFO enthusiast. 2109.
Gary Lowe was a UFO investigator who was skeptical, but he did come out to Meadow Cottage with all kinds of equipment to try and figure out what was going on. And this began a series of communication between Gary and 2109 directly. The process was this. Gary would put a letter in a sealed envelope and place it on top of the computer. When 2109 would respond, the message was printed and put into an envelope without Ken reading it. And this back and forth continued for some time when Gary finally sent a message back to 2109 that read,
"Greetings. I am instructed to apologize, but in any event, I would have done so of my volition. There will be a letter hopefully this weekend. I am also instructed to apologize to Ken and Debbie. I must try and answer your last letter. It would appear that you are more important than I had realized in the scheme of things. Gary."
Apparently, something in one of the messages from 2109 had caused Gary to become very secretive about the communication and the contents of the letters. Now, Ken became so frustrated and angry that Gary left that night. And they would never hear from Gary again.
It's a weird story.
As Ken continued to communicate with Thomas, aka Lucas, Lucas explained that one night he saw glowing lights coming from his fireplace. From the light, a man stepped out and asked him to not be afraid. When the man left, Lucas found what he described as a light box in his kitchen. He realized that when he spoke to the light box, his words would appear on a screen in glowing green letters. And on March 21st, 1985, Lucas had sent his final message.
My true fellows and sweet maid, Grona has said that Thomas must go. I know it is for the best because the people of Dodleston are very wary of me. It is good to know that all will change and there are true men to follow like Ken and Peter. Though 400 years is a long time, and there is much to happen to mankind. Perhaps you will come to Oxford. Now I think there is no danger for me there, for I hear the king is very sick and all is quiet in the church. I shall go by boat from Cheshire to Bristol. I shall try to make my stay at Brasenose. I will write my book about my brothers and maid and the end of Lucas and our love for one another. One day you will all sit down at my table for wine and mead by the river in Oxford, where we shall read each other's books and laugh, and we shall speak of truth and good men, watching Oxford change together forevermore. In your time, my book is old, but I shall not go to my God until it is written. Then we will all be truly embraced. My love to you all. I shall await you in Oxford. Thomas Harden.
Well,
Notice there was a lot more Old English in like the first letters. And
that was
then...
touching.
I thought so.
Did he ever write the book?
Well, we have one final message from 2109.
There is another person to come. They will be the help we need. You will know when they come. Thomas did eventually write his book, and he soon died shortly after. He placed it in a secure place. It shouldn't take too many years to find it, though he wrote it in Latin with the help of a friend that he met in Oxford. The inscription reads,
Me writes this with the hope that mine friends will one day find this book. Then may our lands be not so distant.
We will finish now. You have a lot of work to do. There is no need to write back as we will have gone. Thank you for your cooperation. 2109.
And no more communication would follow. In all, Lucas and 2109 had sent over 300 messages to Ken and Debbie. And a few years later, Ken would document the story in his book, The Vertical Plane. The story would again be covered in 1996 in a BBC documentary called From Out of This World. And Ken and Debbie appeared on the program, but with their backs to the camera. They claimed that the messages were real, and they held important information about our past and future. You can find Debbie online posting as recently as a few weeks before I recorded this, and she sounds reasonable, rational, and convinced. And while their story has many skeptics, Ken and Debbie insist that one day their story will be revealed to be the truth. I hope they're right. Wow, this is a good story. So, how much of it is real? All of it? None of it? All of it?
All of it.
Well, here's what I've been able to dig up. Peter Trinder essentially worked as a translator of the messages. And the original script was so foreign-sounding that he had to dig through years of the Oxford English Dictionary to decipher meanings of lots of the words. And Trinder said that this would be almost impossible to fake, especially for someone with no background in medieval languages. And Peter Trinder even went on camera with the BBC to say so.
It was very real. That's all I'm saying, Richard. It was very close. The kind of thing that you could not doubt. But all the time one was aware of the possibility of hoax. But if it was a hoax, by golly, it was brilliant.
And on the skeptical side, also from the same program,
it can still be a brilliant hoax, you know?
There's Dr. Laura Wright of Cambridge.
Looking at the verb structure, there are things which Lucas says that would not have been said in 1546. It's true that individuals can make up individual words, but we don't make up our verbs. It's possible, or it was possible in England in 1546 to say I do, thou dost, he, she, or it doth, he, she, or it does. But it wasn't possible to say I doth, or he, she, or it dust. Now, all the way through Lucas's messages, he mixes and messes up these suffixes with the wrong subject.
Finally, when asked if she thought it was a hoax by someone with a background in early English writing,
no, if somebody had a background in early modern English writing, their hoax would look a lot better than this. I mean, they would get their verbal inflections correct. They wouldn't choose vocabulary that came from a period long before the period that this is supposed to have been written in. They'd do it a lot better.
Also, a sample of Ken's writing was run through software and compared against Lucas's messages. The result was that both sets of writing tested close enough with the software that they were possibly composed by the same author. Now, Ken said that 300 words isn't nearly large enough of a sample, and that the BBC specifically chose passages that they were sure would give them the results they hoped for.
Media always has an agenda.
That's true. Now, Ken and Debbie's roommate showed up in a forum a few years ago saying that Meadow Cottage was actually a peaceful place, and that he never experienced any of the phenomena that Ken did.
So Ken's lying?
Well, John doesn't go that far. He said Ken was a serious person and wouldn't want to open himself up to ridicule by writing a book that would make him out to be a loon. Another rumor, which I read online, I don't know if it's true, is that when the librarian was researching the books on Lucas's list, it's been reported that someone else was there also researching the same books. That's just what I read on a blog post. I'm not judging, I'm just reporting. And here's something interesting. In the book, which was published in 1989, Entity 2109 says that in Ken's lifetime, Fermat's last theorem would be solved. Pierre de Fermat proposed a mathematical theorem in 1637, and it was studied by mathematicians for over 350 years and couldn't be solved. Well, in 1995, Andrew Wiles published the first successful proof of Fermat's last theorem, a proof that earned Wiles the Abel Prize.
2109 was right.
They were. And that's an obscure detail for a hoaxer to just come up with, and it's a hell of a gamble.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Also, 2109 gave the coordinates of an undiscovered star that they said would be important to mankind. And years later, a quasar was found at those coordinates. And Lucas talks about being imprisoned by a Sheriff Thomas Fowlhurst of Cheshire. Now, there's no record of this man, but
a quasar is like the remnants of a star after it's gone supernova, right?
I did some sleuthing, and it turns out that there absolutely was a Sir Thomas Fowlhurst with a slightly different spelling but same pronunciation, who was Sheriff of Cheshire in 1529, which is awfully close to the right time.
Did you ever find that UFO guy?
Ah, Gary Rowe.
Yeah, that guy.
Though UFO researcher Gary Rowe disappeared for years, he's since spoken out about the Dodelston messages. In the description, I'll link to a blog post from as recently as 2017 where Gary has all kinds of things to say. He believes every word of it. He thinks he was chosen to receive this information from 2109 because the information is safe with him.
Many people are highly skeptical about the events related in the Vertical Plane book. Quite rightly so, given the degree of strangeness. But I am not. I left no stone unturned and used cutting-edge science to get to the truth. In fact, I believe it was the first computer-controlled psychic investigation recorded in the world. I know it really happened. It changed my life forever. It is going to change yours. The book will, one day, be ISBN recorded under the history section. It is a monumental, historical marker in the ribbon of time.
Is he right? I guess time will tell.
I mean, they had cameras back then. Why couldn't they have like 24-hour recording? You know, why can't you see? There could have been files, right? Right, it's the 80s. There was no dot. Was it a typewriter or an actual? All right, let's watch another one.
Nikola Tesla believed that he could harness the energy from inside the Earth and transmit that power wirelessly.
BRB. take some medicine.
Wirelessly around the world. His early experiments were successful, but his research mysteriously vanished after his death. There is no evidence left of Tesla's wireless power technology. Or is there? For years, we were taught that the Great Pyramid of Giza was a tomb for a king. It wasn't. It had a different purpose. Tesla didn't invent wireless power. It's been here for 5,000 years, and probably a lot longer than that. Okay, why were the pyramids built?
Storage for dead mummies?
Dead mummies?
It's a tautology.
Mainstream Egyptology says that the Great Pyramid of Giza is a tomb built for Khufu, the 4th dynasty Egyptian pharaoh who ruled 4,500 years ago. But the Great Pyramid doesn't have any characteristics of other Egyptian tombs. The Great Pyramid contains no artifacts, no hieroglyphs, and no elaborate wall art. It's been argued that the granite sarcophagus found in the king's chamber once contained Khufu's mummy. There's no evidence that a mummy was ever there. No mummy has ever been found in any pyramid, ever. Ancient Egyptians considered their pharaohs gods. The Great Pyramid is a strange structure for a god. Small chambers, narrow shafts, no markings at all. The way the pyramid was built and the materials used to build it suggest it had a different purpose. The sides of the pyramid are aligned with the compass with such accuracy that only modern engineering can match it. The Great Pyramid is a mountain made of 2.5 million blocks of stone weighing 6 million tons, piled 481 feet high. Its footprint is over 13 acres. To align this construction within 1/15th of a degree of true north is impossible precision. The base of the Great Pyramid is leveled to within 3/4 of an inch. The only way to do this with modern structures is to use lasers. Even though the sides of the pyramid are over 755 feet long, made of stone blocks weighing between 2 and 40 tons each side is within 2 inches of any other. That's 99.98% accurate. Fun fact, the pyramid...
I kind of bored of that video. Let's check out some of Jaden's videos.
Everyone knows about the classic household name, Dance Dance Revolution. It's the one where you go to those arcade places and there's that one Asian guy full comboing the hardest song with both player slots, and he's been doing it with no break for the past 2 hours, and he's the coolest person anyone has ever seen. It's a huge video game genre that's sparked an incredibly talented and dedicated fan base, but we're not talking about a game that has any of that. We're talking about the Mario DDR game that came out on the GameCube in 2005 and is the funniest thing Nintendo has ever done. If you didn't know, Nintendo released their own Dance Dance Revolution game to capitalize on the hype, but it's actually awful. For whatever reason, they just ripped all the assets and models from their Mario Party games and
Mario DDR, that's an interesting concept.
mocapped Mario to various dances, resulting in animations like these. I hope you're starting to pick up on the vibe of this game now. I wanted to run the game at the hardest difficulty, but I realized to unlock each difficulty, you need to complete the entire story mode in its prior difficulty. So to unlock hard mode, you have to beat the game in normal. To unlock very hard, you have to beat it all again in hard. So we all agree that I played the game 3 whole times and didn't use a cheat code to get the hardest difficulty immediately, right? Alright, great. This
Right,
game is
right.
awesome already. The story starts out with Toad running to Mario's house because someone stole the music keys from Truffle Towers and they need to go get them back. What are the music keys? The game calls them the spheres that hold the power of music and then does not elaborate. They try to
She
head to
pulls
the
out the
tower and
glasses.
not a minute into the game we reach our first story hurdle, which is a river. They say it's flooded, but does not look flooded in the slightest. In fact, that is exactly what I'd expect a completely normal river to look
Exactly.
like. Also, why would you put your house here in the first place, especially if you're gonna have problems with
Hold on. That's not.
Also, why would
That's definitely not flooded. I mean, you wouldn't even see like the little bank right here.
you put your house here in the first place, especially if you're gonna have problems with crossing rivers? But Toad has a solution. And the solution is
Dance.
to dance. Oh my god, do not tell me I can predict how this entire game goes all because of this one sentence. Anyways, Toad says if they dance, maybe they can cross the river, but then they just get in a boat and dance, which I think is one step too complicated. They cross the river in a boat and thank the power of magic, get to Truffle Towers, the door is locked, and then are bombed by Waluigi. Mario
Wait,
gets...
Did you see that? Mario's got some cake.
which I think is one step too complicated. They cross the river in a boat
He's doing the Michael Jackson dance
and thank
there.
the power of magic. Get
Look at that cake. Jaden. Come on, Jaden. I see you.
to Truffle Towers, the door is locked, and then are bombed by Waluigi. Mario gets sent flying, and Waluigi monologues about how he's the one that stole the music keys and intends to use them to become the best dancer in the world. Which, first of all, is full-on admission of guilt and therefore triable in court. And also, I don't think you need to stoop to robbery to accomplish that dream. Like at all. Mario lands at the bottom of a really deep pipe, but uses the power of busting it down to get out. Somehow. I don't know what happened, but he just started dancing and then he was out. And on their way back to the tower, they visit a local shop run by Lakitu. They're shopping, and then the camera pans and reveals, is that the key to Truffle Towers? They ask him about it, and he's just like, yup, ain't she a beaut? And it's like, why is it here? Toad asks if they can have it, and he responds, only if you can do something for me.
Whoa.
Which is terrifying and ominous. He takes them to the back, which is also terrifying and ominous, but says, these brat kids are messing with my garden. If you get rid of them, you can have the key. Oh, phew. Okay, he just wants us to beat up children. So Mario just dances around and smashes them. We get the key, go back to the tower, and walk in on Waluigi just having his own private little dance party inside, alone. Have you just been dancing around in silence this whole time? He strikes an anime back pose and challenges us to a dance-off, which we win because look at Mario go. And now we got the music key. Mario does the smallest little punch celebration in the world before Toad says they're not done with their journey. We have one of the music keys, but apparently there's 4 in total. You mean the game isn't 18 minutes long? Toad summons this incredible music airship that I guess he just has, and off we go to World 2, where they immediately fly into a tornado, get flung away, and ruin Toadette's hotel. And when I say ruin, I mean turn it into corkscrew pasta. Toadette is absolutely furious, and I'm just
Kind of respect for her having a hotel, you know?
praying we didn't kill
Entrepreneur.
every single person who was in the building. But Mario's like, don't worry, dude, I know how to fix it. By dancing. Of course. They dance and the building coils itself up again, and Toadette's like, thanks, by the way, I saw the thing you guys are looking for fly over in that direction. Which is like, okay, sure. They head over in that direction, but a whirlpool just spawns out of nowhere. They sail to a nearby island for safety, kind of just stand there with creepy blank stares for a bit, then walk into the only building on the island, which is just another shop. This time it's run by a Lakitu, but in a pirate hat. And you'll never guess what he's got. A ship attachment that lets you sail through whirlpools. How incredibly convenient to
I love
keep
that.
on progressing. Mario and Toad are just looking at the thing, and Lakitu's like, I see you've got your eye on the boogie booster. It lets you sail through whirlpools. Toad's like, oh neat, can we have it? Nope, it's not for sale. Then why is it on display? You know what? You've got a point. If you beat me in a dance battle, you can have it. I kid you not, that is the exact exchange that happens in the game. The song that plays while battling Lakitu is super intimidating, and I thought I was gonna actually be in danger, but Mario wins the dance-off probably because Lakitu has 0 legs. They get the engine thing that wasn't for sale, and Lakitu definitely did not have to give away, and now they can sail through whirlpools. And when the game says through, they actually mean into, because apparently the music key is in the whirlpool, and I don't know how they knew that, or why they didn't tell me,
if she was actually
the player,
dancing
that
or
in the first
playing like
place.
a
I was
gamepad.
just thinking the whole time, can you
I
just
guess
sail
the game
around the
cache.
whirlpool or something?
It's just-
There's like a
that's
whole
just
ocean to
a
sail
gamepad
in, and you're wanting to
in her
sail
hands
through this tiny little
with the
section.
animation.
But now I look like a fool, and frankly, I don't think it's my fault. So they get to the bottom of the whirlpool and find the second music key being guarded by this giant blooper, and of course, that means we need to dance battle. Since for all these duel songs you get to see the opponent's screen, I thought it would have been really funny to see the blooper have like 8 arrows to hit instead of the classic 4. But whatever, it's just a really creative and fun little idea. I guess they didn't have to be funny, I guess. Also, when I say dance, I mean murder. Mario danced so hard the blooper died. On to World 3 they go, which, by the way, this game is going at breakneck pace. Mario does a couple dances, someone dies, and on to the next area, I guess. They land at an amusement park and are immediately gatekept by these hammer bros who are like, if you want to get in, you're gonna have to dance through us. Toad runs away because he says his legs are too stubby to dance, which means the gatekeeping worked on him. Mario's canonically immune to gatekeeping, so he stepped up to the challenge, and I would like to mention these hammer bros' highest combo was 30, which is not good at all. I'm just saying, I would be embarrassed if I tried to gatekeep someone and performed like that. Just saying. Mario and Toad enter the amusement park to see Wario on a roller coaster with a music key. They yell out, "Follow that roller coaster!" Which is like, if only there were rails to indicate where it's going. But then they make probably the worst decision you could when you're trying to catch someone on a roller coaster, which is get on the other roller coaster cart. If you're getting on a roller coaster to catch someone already on the roller coaster, that doesn't work. Roller coasters don't catch up to each other. That's called a collision. So they make haste again, the chase of a lifetime, and they end up running into a haunted house where Mario needs to dance to fend off the ghosts to avoid being possessed. Is this what you have to do to close Ouija boards people forget to say goodbye to? They make it out and start the chase again. Also, Wario, I don't think you should be saying this when you're clearly in tackling distance. They corner him at the Ferris wheel. He pulls the, if you can beat me in a dance battle, you can have the key thing again. We beat him, and hey, third music key. By the way, Wario has one of the best songs in the game. The two arrive at World 4, where the skybox is very visible, and everything's all snowy and blistery. Toad is about to freeze to death in the funniest animation I've ever seen, as Mario does not care. But they make it to the top of the mountain, where they find the last music key lodged in this giant Freezy's head. Toad goes up to him and is like, "Hey, sir, can we have that?" And gets hard ignored. So he turns to Mario and is like, "Did you see that? I was ignored." Mario, kill him, which the Freezy did not like, which, being honest, is very reasonable. I would be in the same boat if I gave someone the silent treatment and then I overhear them put a hit on me. Even though Toad is clearly in the wrong, Mario dance fights him anyway, and during the very fun upbeat song, the Freezy is seen slowly melting as Mario pelts him with fireballs. The giant Freezy dies tragically. They get the key, and Toad cheers, never once taking the time to self-reflect and realize how unreasonable he just was. And now this beautiful, innocent creature is dead because of it. They fly back to Truffle Towers to put the music keys back when Bowser punches Toad in the throat and takes all the keys back to his castle. Oh my goodness, there's a Secret World 5? Secrets in Mario game? Who would have guessed that? After Mario dances to quite possibly the strangest Mario Bros song I've ever heard. They infiltrate the castle and grab the keys before Bowser is able to use them. Then Toad's like, "You're going down, Bowser. Mario, kill him." And then the most hyped dance battle begins. Have you ever seen Bowser do an aerial while Mario's busting it down in front of him? Well, there you go. This song unironically goes crazy hard too. The premise of this battle is while you're hitting the arrows, you also have to hit these rocket parts, and when you get all three, it builds into this space rocket that flies over and astral squishes Bowser. And I would like to say, for the record, I think it is incredibly impressive he's able to take a giant hammer to the head and immediately jump up and keep dancing like a champ. That's some incredible stamina right there. But the song ends and Bowser collapses. The day is once again saved thanks to Mario and the sociopathic megalomaniac that is Toad. They ask Bowser why he wanted the music keys in the first place, and he's like, I'll be honest, I just wanted to fix my tone deafness. Poor guy, just wants to become a K-pop star. I guess that struck a chord within Mario because then he just uses all the keys himself and releases all the music power into the world, and they all act like he's a hero and everything is happily and sparkly in the end, and how it's supposed to be used this whole time, which could be cute if it wasn't so stupid, and also invalidates every single organism they slaughtered to get to this point. Was this a good game? Not even close. It was surprisingly hard, but it's not because the game is hard. I think it's really just because the developers didn't know anything about DDR. If they did, they sure as hell didn't make a game that seemed like it. They don't indicate which arrows are on what beats, which is really important in DDR. Well, okay, technically they do tell you what arrow is on a full beat and which are on half beats, but they switch back and forth between the same colors the whole time. See these two squares? Tell me which one is which when they're flying across the screen and all intertwined with each other. In other words, you. Enemy arrows are impossible to see because they're not bright and neon, so they blend into the background, which is distracting enough already. For me, the calibration was wrong, so I went into the settings to fix it, and instead of having a way to recalibrate it manually or something, you have to input plus or minus.
Oh my
which is
god.
like, my sweet spot ended up at +9, and I have no idea what that means. I could go on, but I think you get the point. Do I hate this game? Nope, I absolutely loved it. And it's all because of the stupid rotoscope dance animations. How
Yep.
could you call this bad? Nintendo will never let this happen again. So I think we need to step up and cherish this game because it's a miracle it exists in the first place. Plus the songs, except that weird one near the end, are actually fire. And I'm dying on that hill proudly. Hello everyone, I hope you've been doing well. I have been doing quite well.
Alrighty. Let me switch to the PS5. 1 sec. There we go. Sorry about that.
Activating combat mode.
Bring it on!
Conflict resolved.
I didn't know it was gonna do that much damage.
Activating combat mode. Conflict resolved.
Agreed. I never played Crisis Core on the PSP. Story's good so far.
Activating combat mode.
Hey, Zach?
Hmm?
That thing where you spring up? Can you do it on sand?
Of course. But if I do it, you owe me one date.
Sure. But if you can't, you have to grant me a tiny wish.
Oops. Hold on. One more try, please.
Let me see. Okay, one more try.
Piece of cake. You're in for it now.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Conflict resolved.
Yo! Don't fall too far behind. At least someone's keeping up.
Well, I'm a country boy too.
From where?
Nibelheim. How about you?
Me? Gungaga. Hey, what's so funny about that? You know Gungaga?
No, but it's such a backwater name.
Ditto Nibelheim.
Like you've been there.
I haven't, but there's a reactor there, right? A Mako reactor outside Midgar usually means
Nothing else out there.
Good news, Sung. Me and
Oh shit! Cloud!
me and Cloud here are both backwater experts.
Cloud!
Oh yeah.
Good. Carry on,
I
then.
wasn't expecting that. That's cool. I mean, I knew he was going to be in the game, but not at this point.
Activating combat mode.
Out of the way.
Conflict
Oh
resolved.
yeah. Guess I'll wait.
Hey, Zach?
Hmm?
So, Soldier. What's it like?
Huh? I'm not getting the question. Well, you'll know once you join up.
If I can join.
Don't worry. If I can do it, you can. Cloud, look. It's Genesis.
That's a Mako excavation test site.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Our main mission here is reconnaissance. Engaging Genesis was not expected.
Not expected, so just let them be? Unreal.
In any case, we need more intel. It's possible that a larger force is hiding inside the building.
How's this then? I go first, avoiding combat if possible and sneak inside. Then, I take a look around. If I can take them, I will. If not, I'll bolt. Come on, man.
Drive me crazy.
I'll prove that Soldier isn't just a bunch of mindless thugs.
All right. The entrance is behind that warehouse. Make your way in from there.
Yeah, some of it is
Gotcha.
decent, but some of it's kind of crazy.
I'm sure you know, but it'll be cold. Mind your body temperature. If you stop moving, your body temp will go down. To get it back up, just do your usual thing.
Oh, that! Good idea.
Soldier is just amazing.
A little bit of Metal Gear now. So. A little bit of a moment. Uh-oh.
Activating combat mode.
Later.
Conflict resolved.
All right, let's try this again. Oh, so they took my treasure. There are 5 containers in total, but you will lose one if public occurs, blah blah blah. Let's try again. Oh, damn it. I suck at this part.
Activating combat mode. Conflict resolved.
Did I take drink shoes? Oh crap. I just want to fight.
Activating combat mode. Conflict resolved.
Do the last one.
Activating combat mode. Conflict resolved.
Now they just go inside. That's funny.
Activating combat mode. Conflict resolved. Activating combat mode.
Oh man, that hurt. Fuck. What happened there, but I'll take it.
Conflict resolved.
What's the meaning of this? You need me, Genesis. Remember that. If you get rid of me, who's going to stop the degradation?
The Genova cells.
Stop! Cloud, good work!
But nobody knows where the Genova cells are being kept. Not even Hojo knows. You'll never find it.
Then I shall willingly accept my fate. But I'll take the world with me.
Cloud! Go!
Activating
so
combat
weird.
mode.
Howl in terror, Shinra lapdogs!
Activating combat mode.
Howl in terror!
Conflict resolved.
Fuck you.
Dreams of the morrow have the shattered soul. Pride is lost. Wings stripped away. The end is nigh.
Conflict resolved.
Such is the fate of a monster.
We're not monsters, you hear me?
We're
soldier. Where's your honor?
Even if the morrow is barren of promises, nothing shall forestall my return. If this world seeks my destruction, It goes with me. Genesis. Song? Cloud? Where are they? What is that hole? Did they go in?
Activating combat mode.
Leveled up, baby. What's the last Final Fantasy game you played? Final Fantasy. I played the Final Fantasy 7 Intergrade too. It's been pretty good. It's alright. Just wish it was longer. I think the other half is coming up this year. Take some Soma. What's in here? Definitely need some ether.
Activating combat mode.
Bring it on! Take that! Hana! The end!
Conflict resolved. Activating combat mode.
Oh
Conflict
yeah!
resolved.
Odell Bathhouse. What is that? Aggression?
Activating combat mode.
Concentrate.
I'm feeling it.
Conflict resolved.
Angeal monsters. Does that mean he's here?
I love Verizon. One of my favorite games.
Activating combat mode. Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah! Looks like I have some voicemail messages.
Oh yeah, I'll listen.
You have 23
23?
messages. Message 1.
Oh, wait. You guys are closed? Another time, I guess.
We'll listen to all 23.
Hey, party of 8 for tomorrow. Oh, it's voicemail.
Message 3.
My stomach's been hurting ever since I had those drinks at your place. What gives? I'm gonna sue.
Please tell me there's
Message
23.
4.
I left my bag there, I think. Can you check for me?
Message 5.
You're still closed. You didn't go out of business, I hope.
Message 6.
Are there any front row seats left?
Message 7.
It's closed.
Message 8.
Message 8.
D-Day is coming up. Make sure you're open then. Understand?
Message 9.
Please, answer our questionnaire, and we'll...
Message 10.
Can we rent your place for a private party?
Message 11.
You've still got the package over there in the store, right? Worst case, the deal's still on, even if you ain't open for business.
Package?
Message 12.
This is the recycling service. We're calling to ask what time you want us to come by for pickup.
Message 13.
Sorry about this, but we have to move D-Day. I'll call you in the new data set.
Message 14.
Closing for good. What's gonna happen to my personal bottle?
Message 15.
Did you close up the spa too?
Message 16.
I went over and it was closed. What's going on?
Message 17.
There's been some trouble. The deal's off. You're not gonna be able to reach me for a while.
This guy definitely has the ball number, maybe.
Message 18.
Hi, I have a reservation for tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it.
Message 19.
I heard you're closed for renovations. When's the reopening?
Message 20.
3 more.
This is the Shinra Tourist Bureau. We're calling today to inquire about reusing your facilities.
Message 21.
Looks like I won't be able to pick up the package. I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to get rid of it for me, alright?
Message 22.
Oh, I'm
Right.
sorry. Wrong number.
Message 23.
I'm sure you already know. But the location of the package is inside the trunk next to the stage.
So that's what. Oh, that was for.
Activating combat mode.
Hey! Got him! Oh
Conflict
yeah!
resolved.
There it is.
There's something in the trunk.
Didn't even give me an achievement, did it?
Looks like I have some.
Activating combat mode.
Out of the way!
Activating combat mode.
Bring it on!
Oh,
Hey! Cloud, come on! I'm okay. Sung!
Up ahead. You have to catch Hollander. And Gio is waiting for you.
heighten emotions.
Activating combat mode. Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah! That there's...
Nice.
The steam has stopped.
We'll be fine.
Always get lost.
It should have been me. I should have dealt with Genesis.
Yeah. Then why'd you send me?
To prepare you for your next fight.
Have you lost it? Stop it!
Someone's waiting for you, no?
Angeal, don't do this.
Very good, Angeal. It is time to exact vengeance for our family's suffering.
Family?
No! My father is dead!
Fine. Then do it for your mother.
My mother's shame made her take her own life.
Shame. How terribly misguided. She should have been proud. Proud that she was the namesake of our experiment. Project G. Or should I say, Project Jillian?
Don't say her name.
Jillian, the woman implanted with Genova cells. Genesis, who had her genes mapped onto him during the fetal stage. Yes, Genesis was a failure. I'll admit it. But you, Angeal, you were actually bred inside Jillian's body. You are perfection.
Zack, I am perfect. A
This
perfect
dude's ego.
monster.
Oh.
My cells can absorb genetic traits and pass them along to others.
A two-way conduit. Genova's power has passed on to you completely.
Zack, do you remember what I said about our enemy being all that creates suffering?
Yeah. But you're not one of them.
But I created my own suffering. Zack, let me show you.
Stop it! You don't know what you're doing! Damn! At least one sample?
Angeal!
I should play all the Metal Gear games on stream. Oh shit. The music. Oh man. What the fuck? Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
And Jill. What happened to honor?
Activating combat mode.
Damn it.
Activating combat mode.
Warm-up's over. The power of soldier. All right, here comes the big one.
Need something with helmet too. He has a mouth in his stomach. That's kind of gross.
Better run for it.
Is this the end?
No, not if I can help it.
Another airstrike.
Is this the end?
Easy game.
Conflict resolved.
Yeah.
Zach, you have my thanks. This.
Yeah. That sword, bitch. I'm more worthy.
Protect your honor. Always. Embrace your dreams. If you want to be a hero, you need to have dreams and honor.
Hey, Zach? The sky is closer in the city above, right? Kinda scary. But the flowers might like it. Maybe.
Aww. Take care of my hug. Wait, wrong expression. I forgot I had those expressions.
So you want to be in Soldier? Hang in there. So, is everybody here now?
Sir!
You're all rookies, right?
Sir! Yes, sir!
One piece of advice. No. An order. Embrace your dreams. And, whatever happens, protect your soldier honor. Got it?
Sir!
We're all coming back here alive. You hear me?
Let's go. Thank you. Yeah, the ears move whenever I blink. Level 20. 7 hours played. I think I'm officially halfway through.
Project G was Angeal's mother's experiment. I apprehended Hollander in Modeoheim and turned him over to the company. After that, the company put me on standby. That was a while ago. Shinra is in disarray. The Turks are hanging around me every day. They say our vacations overlapped coincidentally. Yeah, right. But none of them ever mention Angeal or Genesis. Not a whisper. Almost as if they never existed. Is that how little Soldier is worth? What exactly do I have left to fight for? What is Soldier honor?
Costa del Sol. It means sun coast in Spanish.
Suntan lotion?
No. Never mind that. What is this?
He's
Are
always
they
doing squats.
putting me out to pasture?
You could use some R&R.
I'm bored. That's it? I'm calling them.
Director Lazard's not in. He's been missing for a while now. It was Lazard who was funding Hollander's research, using the company's money.
Are you serious?
We're interrogating Hollander, so we should learn more soon.
What's wrong with them?
Hmm?
People. What are they all thinking?
The truth lies within each person. But even truth seems suspect once it leaves their mouths.
Cisne, go do something.
Calling Aerith?
How do you know that? Am I being watched?
No, she's the one being watched.
Huh?
That girl is an ancient. The only one left in the world. You didn't know?
She never said anything. The only one left in the world, huh? She is one of a kind.
Heads up! Genesis copies!
Nice weapon.
Genesis copies? Here?
Activating combat mode.
Said you wanted some action. Here's some action.
Later! Take that!
Conflict resolved.
These guys are still around? But Genesis...
Genesis may be around too.
Huh?
When the soul leaves the body, it returns to the life stream.
Yeah, and?
A river of souls circles the planet. Perhaps Genesis's soul is also...
Controlling copies from the life stream? Is that what you're saying?
just a supposition. In any case, your vacation's over. Come with me. Junon is under attack by an unknown force.
This is bad. Genesis copies again. They're just running wild.
Activating combat mode.
Yeah.
Taking you down a peg. This is gonna sting.
Yeah.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah.
Special sword all the way.
Hollander is in Junon now. His presence can't be a coincidence.
It's not over yet, is it?
We'll evacuate the residence. You work on securing Hollander.
I'm securing Hollander? Don't you need me on the battlefield?
Hollander has top secret information. The president says he's priority one. With Director Lazard absent, Soldier's chain of command is shaky at best. These attackers exploited that weakness. Zack, you're the only one who can move freely. You must secure Hollander.
Hollander is being held at the 8th level detention center in Upper Junon. Use the emergency elevator to go up. It's at the end of this path. Zack, we need this.
He's still being interrogated. He can't fall into enemy hands.
Okay, I'll go.
Activating combat mode. Conflict resolved.
I like how bullets like just don't do anything in Final Fantasy games.
Activating combat mode.
Yes. Watch this.
Bringing out the big
Watch
guns.
this. Yeah. Ifrit. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, you want some too? Finally dead. Damn it.
Conflict resolved.
Yeah. The Zaga destroys them. There's some missions maybe. Like I'm shocked. I like these missions. They're quick, straight to the action. Get some nice rewards. Makes you want to ride some chocobos, you know?
Activating combat mode.
Out of the way.
Activating combat mode.
Oh, 78. Almost 8k damage.
Conflict resolved.
Ba, 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 ba. Nobody reads their emails. Can't have any notifications. Must be read. Must. Alright, I'm gonna switch it up to Resident Evil now. just beaten Nemesis for like the second time. I'm in the hospital. My name is Carlos. This is Phil right here. Start.
Tyrell, where's Bard now?
Gotta be the lab in the back. Stay frosty, I'm on my way.
Copy. I'll go on ahead.
It's like really thirsty or something. He wants that soda.
I don't got time for this!
For you too? Or is it just on my end? Oh, motherfucker. Fuck you.
Welcome to the office of Dr. Nathaniel Bard. Please state your business. Clearly into the intercom.
Guess I need a tape, right?
Dr. Bard, are you in there? I'm here to rescue you. Open the door.
No voice match found.
Voice match? What kind of sci-fi bullshit is this?
Oh, should have Whoop. Or lack thereof. A lot of blood missing. Fuck you! Double tap, come on. Courtyard. Find the courtyard. Nursery station, and there's a hobby. Nope. Everything scared me. You know, my audio being messed up. I always fall for that. Oh yeah. Downstairs. Memory log unlocked. There we go. I think I fixed it. Yeah, it's rather great. Should have opened that. Wait. I have the key now. It's the wrong key. Wait, what? Funny. Go ahead. Wait, no. I go the other way. What the fuck was that? Oh, who put the zombie in a fucking thing like that? Oh, I wonder where the cowboy at. Single use key. Wait. No. Fuck. What is that? You bitch!
Christ!
What did the note say? I think what happened to the missing tape of Dr. B. His research assistant took it. One of my patients saw Abbott remove something from a locker in the nurse's station and walk towards the treatment. Nurse's station. There we go. Down here. Wait. And then use the ID card on this door over here. That's another one of those fuckers. Let's see how he likes a grenade to the face. I need to go check if I can get Jill's locker. Fuck. Stay down. I forgot he was there. Oh fuck, I missed! Oh, it takes just one grenade to kill him. God damn it! That is a big boy. Okay. There you go, buddy. Have that. Wow, grenades are overpowered in this game. Wait. Kidding me? guess he only shows up after you kill these guys. Get to the...
All I wanted to know was what the documents were doing in your office in the first place.
Who do you think you're talking to? I'm goddamn Nathaniel Bard. I'm the best biologist you'll ever meet, you bedpan-changing waste of a nursing degree.
Bard.
He shot himself in the head.
Tyrell. Bard's dead. He's been shot.
Shit. And the vaccine?
I'm looking.
Well, look harder. There's gotta be a computer, right?
Banquet invitation. Dear Dr. Bard, it is my pleasure to cordially invite you to a banquet on September 10th at Central Hotel, where we will be exchanging viewpoints of Raccoon City's new Special Medical Zone, SMZ. Attending will be Mayor Michael Warren, Chief of Police Brian Irons, and other distinguished members of the community. Thursday 10th, 1998, 6 p.m. The Oriental Restaurant, the Central Hotel, 2nd floor. We would be honored if you joined us. Sincerely, Greg Tester, United States Senator. Handwritten note. Nate, I'll be introducing the bill for that new jug of yours in mid-August. Bring the cash. We booked a suite for the usual after party. You're a brunette guy, right? I'll let Irons know. Of course, there's a corrupt senator. Email from Nathaniel Bard. To Greg Tester, subject, reply immediately. Greg, I know you're watching the news. This virus is going to devour the entire country. The dead will wash over Capitol Hill like a tidal wave. You're not safe, however. You've always been a good friend to me, so I'd like to offer you a way out. I have in my possession 1 dose of a vaccine for the virus, the Holy Grail. It is not for my family, not for the ladies on the side. No, Greg, I'm saving it for you. I know better than anyone that you're the future of the United States. But if you want the goods, Greg, you've got to get me the hell out of here now, without Umbrella finding out. Lean on the Pentagon for me. I know you've got the clout. See if someone can get a rescue team in here without UBCS involvement. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. Which should sound pretty chaste after the parties we've been to. Hurry, my time is running out. Nate. Quid pro quo.
This is VRC Chief Nathaniel Bard, September 29, 11 p.m. I am acutely aware that my time's running out. And I hope and pray, by making this recording and bringing the truth to light, that I can restore some small shred of honor to my name. All of Raccoon City's suffering began with the release of a biological weapon known as the T-virus. My employer, the Umbrella Corporation, engineered this virus, and they ordered my team to develop a vaccine, which we did. Now, I keep samples of this vaccine here in my office. The rest of it is stored underground. But those sons of bitches at the board, they want to destroy it. They don't want the world to know what they've done. So they're trying to erase all evidence that the virus ever existed. Now, I'm not a fool. I know they don't want me to...
Jill knew all along. And she trusted me anyway. Fuck!
It doesn't let you shoot him. You see that? Guess he can't come back alive.
Is it here? All right, Joe. Hang tight. T, I got it.
Good. I'm headed your way.
Be careful.
Careful. Have you seen this town? It'll be a fucking miracle if I get there in one piece.
All right, Joe. Hang tight. T, I got it.
Good. I'm headed your way.
Be careful.
Careful. Have you seen this town? It'll be a fucking miracle if I get there in one piece.
Is there another one? I love that.
You're gonna be okay, Joe.
Thanks, man. Have a good night. Appreciate you joining.
Come Tyrell, what the hell happened?
Attention all citizens. The contagion spreading throughout the city has been designated uncontainable. On October 1st, Raccoon City will be completely destroyed in a missile strike. All residents capable of rational thought are urged to evacuate immediately. This is not a test. Attention all citizens.
I mean, that's only a day away. There's still people in the city. You think Uncle Sam gives a shit? Fuck. Here they come. Oh, you sit tight. I got this. Better grab some gear. Sounds like there's a lot of them out there.
Try to lower the window shutters. The less entry points, the better.
And how do we do that?
I'll try hacking into the hospital security system. Keep them off me in the meantime.
Now the fun shit.
Fuck. that shit. Ah! No! No! What the fuck is that?
Now the fun shit. just gotta clean up.
That's the way.
Can you use that explosive to block the door somehow?
I need a hero!
You alright?
Not even close. But at least it's over. I'm coming back. Vaccine's the real deal. Good. You going somewhere? You're damn right. What do you think you're gonna do? Whole city's about to be microwaved. Come on, man. Call the government. Tell them we found a cure. You stall for time. Ballsy motherfucker. Jill. Thank God you're okay. I've got good news. It's over now. The city's safe.
Oh! What?
It's the only way.
Where am I? What's going on? Oh.
Attention all citizens. The missile strike on Raccoon City will occur in just hours. The payload is designed to eradicate all biological material. You will not survive if you remain in the city.
October 1st?
Evacuate now. Repeat.
No.
Evacuate now.
Can't be.
This is not a test.
Right. I think this is a good stopping point. Thank you guys. Anybody who joined, anybody who watches. Appreciate it. I know it's kind of cringe, kind of scuffed, but I'll be better. Be back tomorrow. Yeah.